Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, Show's World. Welcome to Show's World, gamers. Josh here, and it is once again that time of the week. That's right, as this week draws to a close, I wanted to take a moment to look at some of the biggest video game news stories from this last week. We're also going to take a look at some of the biggest gaming announcements that took place over this last week, and of course, this week's biggest video game releases that you're definitely not going to want to miss. But do me a quick favor, if this is your first time on the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join in on the fun. Alright gamers, let's kick off this holiday week in review with a few news stories. Now, like I said, this was a big holiday week, so news, it was a little sparse, as much of the gaming industry is closed down for the last few days of the week to celebrate Thanksgiving with friends and family. That also means today is Black Friday, the biggest shopping day of the year. So both physically in stores and online, as well as digitally on your consoles, digital stores, there are a bunch of really good deals on games. So hey, this is a good time to fill that backlog back up with games that you may have missed throughout the year, as you can get some pretty good deals right now. Now, the big story we were hit with early in the week was, well, more reports on tech prices rising. They just keep going up. This is kind of a bummer, but reports are actually saying that Microsoft may be preparing for yet another price increase on Xbox consoles. That would be the third price increase in less than a year. Now, analysts also are predicting that Sony and Nintendo will be forced to follow suit. Storage is already beginning to increase, so I would recommend taking advantage of the current holiday sales instead of waiting, because I don't think prices are going down anytime soon. If they're definitely going up. Next up, let's take a look at some gaming announcements. Now, we did get the announcement and shadow drop of new games added to the Nintendo Switch online service. This time we got a total of 4 games, 2 regular Nintendo and 2 classic Game Boy, meaning the games are playable to all Nintendo Switch Online members. In the regular Nintendo library, we received the original Battletoads, a very, very tough game, as well as the just awesome Ninja Gaiden 2, which is also a really tough game. So hey, you're going to be in for a challenge if you jump into these, but I highly recommend them. They're both fantastic games. And in the Game Boy library of games, we received Bionic Commando and Kid Icarus of Myths and Monsters. Now, I hadn't played either of these before, but I surprisingly had a lot more fun with these than I thought I was going to. We did do a video playing all 4 of these games, just checking them out a little bit here on the channel, so definitely check out that video for more info on these titles. Now, the Coin Game received a console announcement trailer this week, with the game coming in early 2026 to the PlayStation 5, PC, and Xbox Series systems. The game is kind of an arcade simulation style game with a collection of ticket redemption arcades with realistic physics, a carnival, goofy robots, open world design, a global ranking system, and silly prizes, featuring 50 plus modern inspired arcade machines and a pawn shop to keep money in your pocket. The indie game is made by a solo developer, and I think this looks pretty cool, and I'm definitely keeping this one on my radar. Alright gamers, let's finish up with this week's new video game releases. And we're going to start with Project Motor Racing. The game released this week on the PlayStation 5, PC, as well as Xbox Series systems. The game is a realistic simulation-style racing game that features a career mode, over 70 cars, 27 tracks, and a physics engine designed for realism. It also includes dynamic weather, a 24-hour day-night cycle, and full mod support. This one looks pretty cool. I'm going to keep my eye on this. Let me know if you guys play it in the comments. Now, Kill It With Fire 2 released this week on the PlayStation 5, PC, Xbox Series systems, and it was a day 1 release on Game Pass. And hopefully we get a Switch version soon. I think the first game came out on Switch, so hopefully this one does also. Now, in this game, you play as an exterminator, taking out spiders in, well, increasingly crazier ways. In this sequel, which offers a co-op first-person action game, players once again act as exterminators to hunt down spiders across different dimensions this time. It features a story campaign for up to 4 players and an 8-player spider hunt player versus player mode, where one team plays as spiders and the other as the exterminators. Now, Bubble Bobble is back this week with the release of Bubble Bobble Sugar Dungeons. The game released on the Nintendo Switch consoles, PlayStation 5, as well as PC. The game is a single-player roguelike featuring procedurally generated dungeons, also new skills for the protagonist, Bub, and as a really cool bonus, it includes the 1994 arcade game Bubble Symphony as a bonus, which that's pretty cool. I might go ahead and pick this one up just for that 1994 arcade game. Now, Star Wars Inc. released this week exclusively on the Nintendo Switch 1 and 2 at a budget price of under $20. The game is kind of a cozy management game where you reside on an abandoned space station on an asteroid and mine and sell ore to upgrade your tools and unlock more of the space station. I did play an early version of the game here on the channel and really enjoyed my time with it, much more than I expected, so definitely check out that video for more info on this one. Alright gamers, that concludes this holiday week in review for the week ending on 11/28. The week started with us kicking off our playthrough of the brand new Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer game on the Nintendo Switch 2. And I would have put a link to part 1 of that playthrough at the end of this video, so definitely check that out. Then, well, we celebrated Thanksgiving with friends and family. And the holiday sales are in full effect, so if you've been waiting for a sale on a specific game, this is most likely the time you've been waiting for. And the week ended with us preparing for a huge release next week, as we will finally be playing Metroid Prime 4 over 8.5 years after it was originally announced. But let me know anything we may have missed in the comments. Also, I want to thank you guys for joining us on this video. Do me a favor, if you're new, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. And we hope to see you on the next one. Shows World, out.